Hello noble ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and I was just browsing through my feed and I was recommended a video from Shadiversity, and I think it's a really interesting take. It's an interesting video. The beginning was like, whoa, so I thought I needed to share it with you so we can watch it together. I'm going to react to it and provide my own opinion when it comes to it, since this is something that has to do with me as well. So we're looking at the video called "Sword Content on YouTube is Dead, so now what?" Interesting. Let's check it out.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but YouTube has made some changes.
Yep.
Something within YouTube itself has changed. The algorithm has changed. Something has changed, and it's whatever it is, it's not helping.
Here's kind of what's going on. The social platforms, all of the social platforms, they are deprioritizing content.
Something strange is happening
Oh, I remember him. I watched his video.
on YouTube. They just made a big update on their algorithm, and I've never seen anything like this in my 10 years on YouTube.
Social media and YouTube is rapidly changing.
I think the unintended consequence will be they are probably going to kill YouTubers the way we know them today.
The kind of video and
Hey, Scalagram. Yeah, I watched his video too when he was talking about the fact that he wasn't getting views either.
topic that used to get at least 100,000 views, often
Right,
more,
right.
now tends to be stuck at 20, 30, 40,
Yeah.
something like that.
These numbers now, followers, subscribers, size of network, are useless.
You know, that used to be way higher and now keeps going down and down and down and down and down. You know, makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. Makes you
Absolutely, we're doing nothing wrong. We're doing nothing wrong, but it's the system that it does make you feel like you're doing something wrong. That is one of the reasons why I switched to daily upload. And I also, well, I'll talk about my reaction to all of this, but absolutely.
feel like no matter what you do,
Yeah.
no matter what improvements you try to make,
Basically, what you're saying is that we are seeing more content from strangers than we are from the channels we're subscribed to.
That's
They are
insane.
deprioritizing content from the friends, for example, if it's a social network, they're deprioritizing it from businesses, and they're also deprioritizing it from subscribers.
That's terrible. It's taking away the person's decision when a viewer makes a conscious decision to click subscribe and click the notification bell. I think the system should deliver because you click the notification bell. Man, that's crazy.
And everybody on YouTube that has worked really hard to grow a big subscriber base can understand this. And Sean, you know
Yeah.
this really well, right?
Yeah.
You've got like 1 million+ subscribers on one of your channels, and you and I both know that they do not see ever all of the content, despite all this work and all these years of work that you put
Yeah.
in.
All right.
Hey, Shad.
What now? Sword content on YouTube, especially the way it has existed for my entire time making content for over 10 years, very much seems dead, especially with the recent changes that have been happening on YouTube. There might be a couple of different ways in which it will still be around, but it is now plain to see that the type of content as it has existed in the past will never be the means to be able to sustain a large channel in the future or support a business. As someone who genuinely loves this content, I've consumed and made it, yes, for over 10 years now, this does
Same.
genuinely suck. I do have a plan to try and keep it around, but it has to be in a sustainable way. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that with you later in the video with an important question to you, my viewers, and the people who love this content. But the content needs to change, or at the very least, the way it is framed if it wants to have any measure of reach in the algorithm.
Right.
I've already done some experimentation, and it still might not work. But the fundamental problem that is at play here, which is affecting multiple channels, not just myself, this is kind of across the board in regards to long-form sword content specifically, content that is solely and only about the sword itself, history, usage especially, barely gets any attention.
He's absolutely right. If you look at my videos, let me give him a like. So if we look at my channel, for example, just to have an idea, every time, and I still make them, but every time I make a video that I consider to be vanilla, it just underperforms horribly. And I know for a fact that if this video was delivered to at least the core audience, I think it makes sense. I mean, for a channel like mine, 900,000, 960,000, I would say 96,000, it would be reasonable to think that 10% would be interested in the base content that the channel normally delivers. So at 96,000 views should be the norm, but the reality of fact is that I only hit this number and higher when I make different types of videos, such as the one on the Roman Salute, as you see, 222,000 views. That's excellent. But then if we compare it to, for example, the evolution of the night, 28,000 views. 28,000 views, or this one, 22,000 views for the What Did the Legionaries Eat, or my testings in Arma, 29,000. As you see, I still make them. The true origins of Berserkers, and when I see 44,000, at least I'm kind of happy, but I shouldn't be. You get to a point where you're like, I'll take that, because you're used to less. Same I could say for the Praetorian one, 48,000. I'm at a point when I see the 4 or I see the 5, then I'm happy about it. But as we say, for channels like Scalagrim and Shad, who have effectively twice my subscribe count, they should hit 160,000 per upload with regular videos. That's how it should be. And so it's crazy that that is not the case. And once again, my React content sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't. As you see here, I have a React to History hit for 132,000. But then again, I have a 24,000 on Evolution, the Origins of Shields. So yes, every time I try to make something that is closer to what I used to, look at this, Medieval Helmet, 17,000 views. It just doesn't work. Roman Navy, 25,000, but then my review of Gladiator gets to 100,000 views. This is the only situation in the last 2 months when I make a vanilla and it got 170,000. I think some big blog must have shared this because it's really one of the few cases when that happened. The rest of the case, every time a video does well, it's because it's either sensationalistic, like this one here, Disaster with Dragon Age. My React content sometimes does well, sometimes it doesn't. This was a video that did very well, 260,000, but it's right next to something that has 37. So you see, it's really crazy levels of ups and downs, isn't it? Totally.
Or promotion in the algorithm these days. This has been blatantly stark with the videos I've made over the last 2 months and from videos that I have been watching come out on other channels. I've been noticing this trend for over a year now. I literally made a video a year ago pointing out the things that I had noticed that now many people, many, and I mean many how-to-do YouTube channels are saying the same type of things that I was saying a year ago in terms of this is what the algorithm seems to be prioritizing more. In the recommendation of these videos to new audiences, barely are happening at all. What this actually happens, okay, the result that causes this type of thing, the content itself is not getting shown to new viewers. Because we're not the only channel that's facing this. I mentioned in the last video, other channels have been reporting on this, and since making that video, many have actually reached out to me, commenting, not just content creators, because, yeah, Tyler Tube mentioned it, and he mentions that there's been this weird change with other channels as well. Other channels reaching out to me. Baggage Claim posted on Twitter saying, what's going on? My content hasn't changed.
Look at that. Look at that. That is, oh my gosh. Look at this. The difference is insane.
Have gone off a cliff. Clownfish TV has been reporting on this, that traffic to independent websites through Google has been dying. And so this isn't just happening to Shadiversity, even though it is detrimentally affecting us in a big way. YouTube is clearly recommending different content that I'm not interested in, like on my home feed, and so many people have reported this.
Happens to me too, absolutely.
Weird recommendations of videos that have barely any views that you have no interest in. And I've been flooded with that, of content that just I'm not interested in watching or viewing.
Yeah.
So clearly YouTube is recommending different content to different viewers.
And that is so strange because the way it used to be is that a video will be pushed onto new audiences if it performed well with your pre-selected pool from your own subscribers. And perform well usually generally meant engagement, so you got comments and all of that, but also average watch time. Average watch time on my videos in the last 3 months has gone up exponentially. I've got up because I've worked on it. I was like, oh, I need to do the average watch time right. I need to increase it. And it went up to like 14 minutes, 18 minutes, sometimes really, really high average watch time. Still the video doesn't get recommended. Why? It's like the people are enjoying it, they're clicking it, and they are watching it for an extended period of time. In theory, that should help push the video onto new audiences, because if the regular viewers enjoyed it, there is a high likelihood that they would enjoy it too. But yeah, the system appears to have changed.
Deprioritizing recommendations on our content and others.
They are deprioritizing content from the friends, for example, if it's a social network, they're deprioritizing it from businesses, and they're also deprioritizing it from subscribers.
Right.
And when I pointed it out a year ago, there were critics and haters mocking me for it, accusing me that my content was now completely trash, even though the type of content and quality...
Yeah, that's stupid. I've had people saying your content is slop, and I'm like, then why are you even clicking? Why are you leaving a comment? It's just hate. Hate is discriminatory, not logical, and unfair. So that type of comments are worthless, completely, utterly useless, and they're just a representation of a person's toxicity. They mean absolutely nothing. You can dislike his content, it's your own personal opinion, but to just say, oh, you deserve this, you deserve to fall, because all the usual accusations that I don't even gonna say because I'm tired of repeating it, it's just a personal attack and it's not objective.
Had not changed. If anything, the quality increased, and claiming I had alienated all of my audience.
No.
Now, of course, those people were liars and idiots, because you didn't have
Absolutely.
to pay too much attention to realize a couple of things. If those are the reasons why the views are falling off a cliff on my channel, sword content on other channels
Yep.
should be doing just fine.
Absolutely, very good point.
If not better than me. And the most direct point of comparison is Scarlegrim, who
Yeah.
literally made a video recently talking about some of this stuff and the difficulties he's facing on his channel.
The kind of video and topic that used to get at least 100,000 views, often more, now tends to be stuck at 20, 30, 40.
Yeah, I mean, 23,000 and 34,000. Of course, he has got a one that did very well, but it's 7 years ago, 268,000. You can see that at the top. And the ones from 2 months ago, 34 and 23. These would be bad numbers for me, and I have half a subscribe base. If my videos cap at 23, I would be like, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. It's a gray arrow, and it's a big deal. And the way I responded to it was twofold. I want to see if Shad is going to mention the way he's going to respond to this, but the way I responded to this in August, so 4 months ago, was to switch to daily upload. And the reason why I did that is because if you have daily content production, then even if 3 videos don't do well and cap at like 30, I have just ensured 90,000 views. Right? But again, if I posted a video a week that does 30,000, it's a disaster. But if I post 7 videos a week that get 30,000, you're getting 210,000 views. So basically, I'm forcing the views to happen one way or another. And that has absolutely made it possible for me to continue doing this, because in fact, my revenue went up. The views went down, but the revenue went up 5 times. So it really did work. Although then again, January was pretty bad, but January usually is bad. So before I make my final judgment and say, yep, they did something again for the algorithm and we are doomed, before I say that, I'm going to need to wait until the end of February. So expect an update video by the end of February, because January, even with daily, overall views went down. Not as bad as when I was posting 8 times a month, still better, but a lot less. Like they went down 50-60% to how things were just last month in December. But it's possible that that's because January is usually bad for content creators in terms of views and revenue. So let's see how it is at the end of February. But one of the things I did, one of the techniques that I had to put in order to complement the fact that a 900,000 subscribers channel is now getting an average, exception being those videos that do really well, but I'm getting like an average of 40,000, 50,000, then that's a problem. So I compensated that way. And the second thing, I'm running 4 channels now. And if you're not aware of that, I try to say it, but oftentimes you don't get notifications when I post on the community tab, or I try to let you know on videos, but then those videos don't get to you. Now, what I just said, the fact that I'm running 4 channels, if that is news to you, please click the link in the description. Please check out the pinned comment, and you will find links to all of these channels, and that will be a fantastic way to support my work through the redirection on the other channels where I also post daily. In fact, my 4th channel, I post 4 times a day. I'll get back to that, but let's continue the video.
Something like that.
He hasn't had any cancel mobs come after him or been involved in any controversies about AI art or ideological positions that he's taken like I have, where I've taken strong stances based on my Christian and conservative values. I have a whole separate channel doing that. And as a result, there's a lot of people who come after me for being outspoken. And liking Trump. There's a
Each person should have the ability to share their own opinions, whether you be left-leaning, right-leaning. Your opinion should not be blocked and it should not get you cancelled. I think people should be free to share their opinions if they want. I'm a moderate, as you know. I'm a very centrist when it comes to that. So I will have elements of agreement with both conservatives and liberals, depending on what we're talking about, economic policy, social norms. I'm a Christian too. So, of course, when it comes to that, you know, the traditional family, this is usually what I follow and what I would teach to my kids. But I'm very much pro-freedom, so that people, if they are consenting adults, they can live their lives however they wish. And I'm absolutely non-toxic. So I don't hate you for thinking differently than me, unless you are like some crazy extremist, regardless of the side. At that point, that pisses me off. But in general, whether you be conservative, right-winger, left-winger, as you see, me and Shad, we get along perfectly, and I get along with people that are on this opposite side of the spectrum. As long as they're decent people, that's what I care about.
The horde of haters constantly lying and making hit piece videos about me, yet Scarlegrim, who's a relatively uncontroversial YouTube creator, has been facing the exact same decline in views and struggle in making sword content as I have found here on channel.
Look at that sword collection, though. I love the way Scarlegrim puts it all up at the walls. It's pretty nice.
And not just him, many of the old school sword kind of YouTubers have been facing the same thing. Metatron is an interesting example because he has kind of shifted the focus of his channel with a lot of good reaction content. I love the content, but nearly all of his more old school style videos that he makes on occasion, talking about weapons or just a focused historical subject, get the exact same type of...
He's absolutely right. That is why I had to... And I try not to do too many reacts. In fact, the way I addressed this was I used to post 8 times a month with either regular vanilla content or maybe a debunking or so, or a commentary or a response. I still do the same. You still get the same 8 videos a month that are old school vanilla type, even though they don't get views. But then I fill in all the space in between with react videos, more debunking, article reading, and that sort of stuff that it's easy to make and it seems to appease the algorithm. But that way, you know, I try to make everyone happy. So you still have the same number of videos. If you enjoyed that type of content, just click that. But at least it allows us to survive.
The views as myself and Scarlegrim are currently getting. And you could look at many of the legacy sword YouTubers as well as the channels that never really got off the ground and are even starting out now. Their long form videos are facing the exact same thing. All of us have the occasional video, myself included, that does do well in the current environment. I have a number of videos since making, you know, the video talking about the issues that are at play here, well over 500,000 views, or if not more. These are outliers, the exceptions to this new standard, but it really does show that there is still a large audience of people that like to watch this content, are willing to consume this content if it was just recommended to them. Because when I look at those videos that have done really, really well, the conversion from impressions to views...
Ooh, look at that. 1 month ago he did... Yeah, that's very nice. If I got to 196,000 views, which I do sometimes, like probably the one I did about the Roman salute is going to get to this 100%. But yeah, the other two, look, 28,000 views is insane.
Are the same, if not actually a bit lower than much of my other content. What that means is, if most of my other content was just given the same amount of recommendations in the algorithm as my successful videos, they would get the same, if not more views.
That's a very good point.
Than my most successful recent videos. If people were disinterested in sword content across the board, from Scarlegrim, Lindy Beige, Metatron, myself, and many others, our views should be terrible no matter the amount of recommendations they give. But the consistent analytical proof that I see time and time again, I get the same amount of views versus impressions I get consistently between my successful videos and my videos that don't do well. It's not based on the likelihood of an audience to watch. The YouTube algorithm is choosing to recommend my content, give impressions to it. It seems to be if it's related to a more trending popular thing that more people are watching broadly. So the critics and liars who have been mocking and attacking me for over a year, they'll never admit they were wrong or apologize. They are bad actors that hate me for ideological reasons. The proof...
Yeah, that's what I hate. I mean, if there is a person that I strongly disagree with at a political level or at a religious level or a personal level, at a social level, whatever the heck. But if they produce, for instance, a work of art, as long as, again, they're not disgusting individuals, I will say it. I will admit, I don't have to go after everything. Their videos are horrible. His book is horrible. His art is horrible. His ideas are horrible. This jacket he's wearing is horrible. The microphone he chose, the background is disgusting. Like, what? It's like, it's stupid. It's like they behave like children. In fact, pitching a fit. I would very much respect someone who is, say, even like a far left guy, okay, who is clearly on a complete opposite position, but is at least decent in the way they would counter, like they would counter the arguments, the positions that are different, of course, but they can still say, for instance, he's got a nice background, I like the way he made this video, or he presented his point well, but they don't do that. His haters don't do that. My haters don't either, but I think I get less haters than he did, because I'm a lot less outspoken, I imagine.
It's very clear, and as I mentioned, it's not just affecting me. There is another thing just to address on this point. Videos like this usually always seem to trend more in the algorithm because people are much more inclined to watch it, or more people are watching this type of content.
In fact, I'm here.
Content broadly on YouTube. That seems to be how YouTube determines if it'll recommend a video, not if you are subscribed and you've told the algorithm that this is the type of content you want recommended.
Yeah, that one doesn't even matter anymore, I don't think. I mean, I would still suggest, number one, to try and click the notification bell and all that, but really, I think the reason why daily works is because it creates an appointment with the person. And I've seen that to me before I chose to switch to daily upload for all my channels. The reason why I did that is because I saw it work on me. I was not getting notified for the channels I wanted. But then I noticed that I was still going back to those channels that were posting daily that I was watching, because I knew, all right, whatever happens, I know there's going to be a new video. So I just look it up myself and I go there, and lo and behold, there is a video waiting for me, and that created a routine. That's why daily, I believe, is the system to defeat this nonsense when it comes to the notification and lack of recommendation to the people that would be otherwise interested, because you know that the creator is posting, and so no matter what, you can go back and create a habit. And a lot of people say that in the comments. They're like, oh, I'm so happy that now at the end of the day I can chill and put a Metatron in the background and do my own thing, because I know he's got something new for me every day now on all the channels. So I post 7 times a day if you consider all the channels where I post. And so there is a lot of stuff that it's there put out in the algorithm. And there is a reason why I specifically decided to create new channels as well that are highly specialized. And I think we'll discuss this. And it's also because it seems like the smaller channels are getting prioritized by the system. So therefore, I decided to start putting resources and allocate them into newer channels that are specialized, like my gaming channel, for example. You just get gaming on that channel. That's all you get. It's relatively small. It has a chance to get pushed. My second channel, which has 70,000 subscribers, I need to show you this. It's going to blow your mind. I write Metatron Latin. So when you write Metatron Latin, I have a similar video, very similar video. In fact, one is shorter and one is longer on the main channel and on the second channel. The second channel is the one you get, which is closer to 1 million views now. The main is this one, and as you can see, it was posted 3 years ago. It has 96,000 views, which, I mean, it's not bad, but the second is outperforming the main, and the second is less than 1/10 of the subscribers. And I think the reason is because it's a specialized channel. So it's all about languages. Video about languages gets into the algorithm more easily, whereas this one was a little bit of an off topic, if you will, for my channel, for the main. And so that's why I decided to start specializing channels. I've got one only for languages, daily content, one only for gaming, daily content, and now I created Metatron clips, which, by the way, you should totally subscribe to if you haven't, because I get the best highlights from all the streams, the long format videos sections that you might have missed. They are specifically selected for you. They are bite-sized chunks that sometimes they're a little longer, but other times they're relatively short, and we post 4 times a day. And it's very nice to just go there and see what we've got. And some of the videos have started to get traction. Like, for instance, my, what is it? Yeah, this one here, 3,000 views for a channel that didn't exist last week. It's pretty good. And there we go. Here is some analytical data. So My third channel right now, of course, it's a much smaller channel, so the views are minuscule in comparison, but still 1 out of 10s, green arrows everywhere, so it seems to be true, the smaller channels are pushed. This is my second channel, and as you can see, I mean, this one is performing well for its own capabilities, its own sections. We still have green arrows and a decent growth. This is my clips channel. Do remember that this channel did not exist last week. Second channel, general analytics, green arrows. Third channel, general analytics, green arrows. The main, yeah, forget that. If I'm getting a tick just because of daily uploads, otherwise you would see gray arrows everywhere. So it is what it is. The bigger channels, and I think it's going to continue to do that.
It is recommending content that most other people are already watching, which leaves the niche communities completely stuffed.
Right.
Seriously, there are a whole host of niche YouTube communities that are just being killed off by the current recommendations or algorithm changes.
But what we've been noticing of late, what he's been noticing on his channel, what I have also been noticing on some large guitar channels, Music is Win is a good example. I'm just pointing him out just because I noticed it, but there's so many others, where you have channels with millions and millions of subscribers, and it's not that they're not active, it's not that they have completely faded into irrelevance or something, but the typical video is probably getting, if say Music is Win has maybe, I don't know, 1.8 million subscribers, a lot of his videos now are getting like 50k, 40k.
30, look, 30,000, 60,000. That would be bad for me to only have this. He has an outlier, so it's kind of similar to me. Very similar views to mine, actually, to my channel. I want to say we have almost identical views. The occasional outlier, and then a lot of the videos at 33, 40, 43. Absolutely. But he has 1.7 million subscribers.
You know, it's really tiny in the context of how big his channel is.
How to D&D type channels is a channel old school, and people often said that we looked alike. How to be a better DM. He's just basically had to give up that channel entirely. He was told by people from YouTube that they will not recommend his content anymore.
Some of you have noticed, rightly so, that the viewership numbers on the channel has been decreasing. And that's a combination of factors. We've been looking into it, watching it very, very closely. I want to say it's because
we have to evolve, man. Evolve to survive.
YouTube is actively culling the channel. I literally went to their offices here in London and had a conversation with them where they went, your numbers are not great. What's your next YouTube channel going to be? Because Great GM is going to be gently pushed to the side. And there's nothing you can do about it either. So YouTube, in all of their financial money-grabbing business approach, and I can't blame them for it, said to me, right, your channel is going to be shunted off into oblivion, which was where so many channels disappeared to that we don't remember them. They just forget and fade into the past. So your channel's being shunted off. It will still remain on YouTube, and it will still be accessible and still be able to be found. But it will no longer be presented to new folks. That's basically the bottom line.
Not because his subscribers didn't want to see it, but because the algorithm has chosen it doesn't want to push it. And what is it choosing to push? What everyone else seems to want to watch.
We are literally at the mercy of a machine. Disconcerting.
Not the niche stuff that people have said that they're interested in by what they're subscribing to. And yes, the video from How to Be a Better DM when he announced it, his best performing video in a long while, because these are the types of videos that YouTube will push, because a lot of people do tend to watch this type of stuff when they come out. And as a result, a lot of people who used to watch my content kind of come back for that individual video. And then they think that by saying, these are the reasons why I'm not watching the content anymore, they think that's actually going to be helpful or informative in some way, thinking that their subjective reasons for leaving the channel represents the majority of people. And assume
you see 21,000, 23, 32, 30, 31. It's like, it's artificially capped. It does really look artificially capped. And once again, Shad, let's not forget that he has almost 1.7 million. So, as I say, twice my subscriber count. He should be getting, at least even on a low end of the spectrum, he should be getting twice my numbers.
Assuming those reasons are the cause for the channel's low views, which is actually very misinformed. I've been doing this for 10 years. The channel is a bit under 1.7 million subscribers. And so over the life of the channel, there are literally hundreds of thousands of people who have come to the channel, watched for a time, and left. That's the natural course of life for any YouTube channel. When you are this size, you naturally lose several hundred people a day. And usually it recycles. The unsubscribe rate has been consistent for several years on the channel, but because the content isn't being pushed to new viewers nearly as much, the newer subscriber rate has fallen dramatically. My intention is not to make content for the people who used to like this type of content because they're literally saying they don't like this type of content anymore, so they're not going to come back anyway. It's to make the content that my current viewers and supporters want to see. So when videos like this bring back a number of people who have not watched the content for a while and they feel the need to express themselves why they don't watch the content anymore, it creates a false narrative in the comment section where if 10,000 former viewers come back because this video was pushed to them and they're interested to just see what's going on, and then 1% of that voices the reasons why in the comments below.
Probably less than 1%, to be honest.
That will flood the comments with a whole host of a vocal minority of people saying they don't like the content anymore, ignoring the fact that there are videos with hundreds of thousands of views, proving that there is still a massive audience of people that still love to watch this content, far more so than the minority of people, still in the hundreds of thousands, that have left the channel over its entire 10 years.
Yeah, and not to mention, as I was saying, one thing that I do to try and make everyone happy is that I continue to make those videos even if they cap at 20,000 views or 30,000 views, as long as I fill in the space between those videos with the react, commentary and debunking videos and occasional article reacting, because those are easy to make, they get more views, and they pretty much fund and make it possible for me to continue making the base videos that even if I make them for just the 10% of the core, at least, you know, those people that still support and like that kind of content, they still get it. That's the way I'm doing it.
Just because they left and don't enjoy the content anymore, that doesn't mean anything or impact the large group of people that still do. Now, having said that, I have experimented with making some more old school style Shadiversity videos, especially in the last 2 months. You can just have a look at the recent videos and you'll notice.
I did notice that.
Fantasy Rearmed and some dedicated historical focused videos, why medieval knights didn't wear armor on their lower legs, a detailed video about sword terminology, another detailed one comparing cross guards versus subas with practical demonstrations, all done very poorly in the largest scheme of things.
I've often seen feedback from people saying, oh, this is the kind of stuff they love, and then it's a video that got like 15,000 views or whatever.
Exactly. That's what I get as well. Like, I will make a video that is maybe a react, or I will make a video that is about a popular topic, like the one about Roman salute, that I think was an excellent video, by the way, if I say so myself. And then those videos will do really well, but then I'll make a video, but then there will be people saying, oh, I don't like this type of content. And I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate you voicing your concern. I always appreciate that. But it works. It gets the views. And there are people that do like it. So I do have to consider the mass. I can't, like, stop doing one type of videos that work because there is a single user that doesn't like it. I have to think about the viewers that do like it. And so that's why I choose to make more content so that I can make as many people happy as possible. But at the same time, when I do make the video that that single user likes, and then they tell me that, but the video gets 20,000 views, well, I'm glad that you found the video that you like, absolutely. But I cannot only make that because it would be devastating.
Like, okay, you know.
Just
Exactly.
like with Scarlegrim's example, a lot of people who say they've left the channel and would like to see this type of content, and then they might come back, and even current viewers who say they wish they could see more of other type of content. The type of content that they're all requesting usually does terribly on the...
That is, yeah, it happens to me, and I feel bad for the viewers that say that, which is why I'll never... I make you this promise, noble ones, okay? I will never completely stop making my vanilla-based content. Never. Doesn't matter. I'll make it even at a loss. I've made it at a loss, in fact. For instance, when I made my video on the Roman mythology and talking specifically on the cult of Vesta and the Eternal Flame, I thought it was a great video. That video cost me $800 to produce, and it made about $80. So that is definitely at a loss, but it's fine because I recovered it from the React. So I'm good. And those that did watch it did write in the comments, loved it, great video. So I'm happy that you enjoyed it. So I'll make you this promise. I'll never stop. But I cannot make only those videos because, me, Scarlegrim, Shad, we were going to financial ruin. Because videos cost time, which is a resource and it's limited. I could be spending, like, for example, time to write my book, which I'm writing. I am writing a book. You heard it here first. It's going to be ready soon. And so I'm saying, like, I could dedicate more time to do that, which probably will be more profitable. I could get more time on Twitch where I'm growing. I could get more time into my other channels, which, I mean, I'm already doing anyways. But I'm just saying, I couldn't do only those regular based videos because it would be devastating. Got a little bit of a compromise, I guess. You know, click the video list and choose the ones you like.
Channel. Confirmed once again with the more recent videos that I've tried doing this with. So I do appreciate the sentiment when people offer suggestions in what content they think that I should be doing, but nearly every single suggestion that they come forward with are videos that just do terribly when they're made. With the current metrics, it seems like a video reaching 40,000 seems to be doing all right these days.
I am in the same position. Exactly. Yeah, you see, used to be like 50K used to be the base. Like if it doesn't reach 50K, I can't make a part 2 or I can't make it into a series. That's how it used to be. And I'm talking, that's like how it was a couple of years ago. So in theory, with the growth and everything, I would say that now 80K should be the baseline for a channel like mine. 180 to 200K should be the baseline of success for Shad and Skull. Now instead, when all three of us see 40,000 views, we're like, oh, huh. And then, of course, when you have the outlier with 200,000 views, we're very happy. We're like, oh, I can't believe it. But in reality, that shouldn't be the outlier. That should, at least for them. For me, 200,000 is an outlier, no matter how you look at it. Because, again, 90,000 should be the base for me. But for them, 200K is reasonable expectation.
And look, I want to be very clear, right? I am very grateful for whatever views I get. A video that gets 20,000 views is actually still a huge audience.
Yeah.
Even 10,000 views is a tremendous amount of reach. And that, I can think about the amount of people that would fill a large stadium. 10,000 fills a lot. So I'm very grateful for whatever views I get, even if it's now a fraction.
Absolutely the same for me. Same sentiment.
Of what the regular views I used to get several years ago. Yet the thing that does need to be said is that videos that will get 20,000 views on average and stuff like that is not enough to support a business going forward.
Yep.
There is a couple of strategies I am going to try,
Let's go.
especially for the supporters of this channel. It is only thanks to the supporters that the channel is even still...
Yeah, for me, Patreon is making a huge difference and membership is helping as well. I've been trying to go live more often. That's another thing that, for instance, helps a lot. Live streaming, multi-streaming, in fact, between Twitch and YouTube. You will be seeing me going live a lot more on all of my channels because that does really help. I want to see if that's something he mentions, but definitely I want to also take an opportunity to say thank you to Patreon supporters, members, people that are actually literally making all of this less stressful. It's thanks to you and to the people who are watching and sharing and leaving a comment and all of that too. But it's important to say thank you to the Patreon supporters. Do check out my Patreon page. I think it's really nice the way I've organized the lists of all the videos, the extra videos and all that. So yeah.
It's our membership support, and this is through YouTube memberships, Patreon, Subscribestar, and Player. That comprises more than half of our current revenue that we make.
Seriously, more than half. More than half. How is my situation? Now, for me, it's not. And again, I have 4 channels, so my ad revenue is multiplied by 4, although these smaller channels, I mean, my gaming channel is making like $300, which is nice because I buy games with it and I review them. But I mean, that doesn't help with the bills. But the second channel does help pay almost half my mortgage on its own. So the second is really helping. So no, for me, main channel is the main source of income. Then sponsorships usually, then Patreon, then second channel, then third channel, then fourth channel. Well, no, then Twitch and then fourth channel, but fourth channel isn't monetized yet.
Revenue is beyond apocalyptic at the moment. It's the worst I've seen in, like 7 or more years. And so it is those viewers that I am going to be giving more attention to. And I have a question to ask not only our supporters, but potential supporters towards the end of the video. I want your help with something. So let me kind of explain in greater detail what is exactly going on with the algorithm, what is its focus, and also share some things what other, what do you call them, YouTube gurus. These are the people that, study the algorithm, try and figure out what type of content will work, and they make the videos, to help YouTubers out in the new year and things. And there is a good video of one of them talking about this stuff, mentioning many of the things that I've said for a while already. But let's hear what they have to say in completion.
here's kind of what's going on.
Okay, well, he's going to review all of this, and I will leave it for you because I'm almost halfway through. So I'll leave this for you to go check out his video. So once again, we can help him get the views. I've already given him a like. I will write a comment once we are done. And then, yeah, so do go finish up the video and see what else he has to say. But I've got to say, I absolutely understand the feeling. I understand why Scalagrim posted the video he posted, and now Shad is posting this, and so many YouTubers are lamenting how difficult it has become to get recommended to the very people that would love the content. Because that's the thing, we don't want our content to be spammed to people that wouldn't like it. That's not what we are asking. We are only saying it would be nice if the system presented the information to those videos, to those people that have already clicked not only the subscription button, but also they watch the content, and they did the notification bell, they leave the comments. You can tell that they would love to get more. And that's why I say that's not happening. It's been extremely difficult for YouTubers, and that's why I switched to daily, to create this daily appointment for the people that do want to watch, so we can bypass completely the whole notification limbo. But apart from that, that's where we are. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, we'll get back to this at the end of February. I'll make an update and see how things are going. As for now, thank you, Shad. I think we should collaborate more. And of course, I'm open to collaborate with Scalagrim too. If we do that, we could at least try to use these views that we get at the moment. And I'm not saying sharing necessarily, but we could try and interlock a little bit. I would be more than happy to do that. Regardless, thank you very much, Noble Ones, to you for watching. Each and every single one of you has been watching these videos of mine every day. Thank you. You are the reason why I still exist, and then the other channels still exist. You are the reason. So thank you so much for pushing together, for resisting. We are not going down without a fight, I can tell you that much. And as of now, on my end, I will continue to put in all the work needed. Daily content, daily content. We need to post 4 times a day. I'll post freaking 4 times a day if needed. I'm doing it on the clips also to test a little bit. It's a joke. I probably won't do it on the main, but I'm just saying, definitely quality, quantity, everything. I'll try to push it up so that we can try to survive this, ride it through the storm, so that we can get back to a position where it becomes easier to at least reach those people like you that do enjoy the content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for my next daily upload. Bye.